Coming up on The Breakdown, we break down the Super Rugby going into round 6. We're live inside the Highlanders camp with Marty Banks. We ask, why are the Crusaders the most consistent Super Rugby franchise?
Everything we do is to help prepare this team to go out there and win championships. That's what we do.
And in the studio, our girls going for gold. The New Zealand Women's Sevens are off to Rio.
Welcome to The Breakdown. Yes, there's the reason you want to watch the Highlanders and the Hurricanes. Conrad Smith versus Malakai Fekitoa. We'll get onto that a little bit later in the show. We've got plenty of things to talk about. Super Rugby. We've got Six Nations, and we're going to talk a lot about Sevens in the show tonight. With me, back from his golfing sojourn, there he is, Justin Marshall. Man, I'm not sure we didn't tear it up.
Yeah,
down
I did better than you.
Yes, you did do better than me, no doubt about it. And Josh Cronford announced, I see you're engaged. It's been 3 years. You just finally got around to buying the ring. I understand. Let's go to the up-front part of the show, where some news yesterday, guys, came out about the Wallabies are now ranked 6th in the world. 6th in the world.
Breaks my heart, Jeff.
Oh, does it? Well, this is the lowest they've been ranked. Yeah, the lowest they've been ranked since the rankings began. Do we read anything into this? We're in a World Cup year. Do you look at it and go, yeah, they're not happy, they're happy, doesn't matter?
Oh, look, it doesn't look great. Aesthetically, obviously, being ranked 6 isn't great for confidence, but I don't think it affects them. Look, we're all very well aware they are in that horrible pool. So they're faced with having to go there and beat Wales and beat England and beat Fiji. Whether they're ranked 6th or whether they're ranked 2nd, it's tough anyway. So, you know, it's key for them to get some confidence before then and maybe enhance their world ranking. But no, I don't read anything into it. Australia are capable of winning World Cups, and history shows that.
But Michael Cheika, though, he took the job off Ewan McKenzie mid through last year. Didn't have a great end-of-year tour, and that's probably reflected in these rankings and the fact the other teams as well, Josh, are playing through the Six Nations. But, you know, as a side, surely you've got to look. You don't look at it in any way?
It's not even an issue. The players won't be thinking about it. It's a thing made for the media. I reckon it just enhances their options from just coming under the radar and suddenly turn up at a World Cup and surprise us all.
I agree with you. Doesn't really make any difference. We just wanted to get into them. All right, let's get to the Tide 5. Plenty of things to talk about when you think about the Blues, their 5th loss of the season. The Hurricanes get their win. The Highlanders so good against the Waratahs. All the results around Super Rugby. Let's get the full wrap from the weekend.
The Highlanders have set up their impending clash with the Canes as this weekend's big match after coming from behind to beat the defending champs, the Waratahs.
Paddy Osborne looks at field. Here's Ben Smith again. Ben Smith.
What a back three with the silky skills of Smith, Naholo and a re-signed Patrick Osborne. And there's a few, including on the breakdown panel, already picking them as serious contenders.
Patrick Osborne! You are a freak!
The Blues are not contenders, but looked a much better side in their outing against the Hurricanes.
Good run by Brendan O'Connor and carried on here and try scored. The Blues are in front.
Though the Canes stay conference leaders after getting home by 7 points.
Drops a little kick in behind. And ball goes down. Snapped up by Patrick. And he scores the try.
And the Crusaders certainly look like a different side now that the big names have come back in, as the Lions found out 34-6.
And the Crusaders have the numbers. Just need to get it through the hands. Whitelock. Whanatia heads for the corner. And over for the try.
The Brumbies are top of the table after a match that was costly for Ben Alexander.
Out to Alexander. He scored a try last week.
Now, he owns a pub in Canberra and he has to shout the bar if he scores a try. Well, he did that twice as the Brumbies held the Reds scoreless.
And over the top they go. And he has got it down, and I think he's going to get a double.
In the other Aussie match, the Rebels won away from home in Perth, and it was also an away win for the Sharks in Bloemfontein over the Cheetahs. And while in Africa, good news for All Black selectors, Cruden fans, and the man himself. Aaron Cruden found some form in the Chiefs match against the Stormers. A try.
Here's him. Inside of Cruden. And the Chiefs with a brilliant score.
3 penalties and 2 conversions should give him some confidence to move his season up a gear. Though the wind did gloss over the fact the Chiefs scrum got shunted around Newlands. And last but not least, in fact it's a first, the New Zealand Women's Sevens side are the first team to booked themselves a spot at the Rio Olympics after they hammered the USA in Atlanta.
There it is. There's the Super Rugby Sport standings. We see the Brumbies, they've won 4 out of their 5. The Hurricanes, they're perfect at this stage. The Stormers haven't. That loss against the Chiefs are still in 3rd position. And the Chiefs they're 4 out of 5 and playing well, getting some confidence. Of course, there's the Highlanders. There's the top 6. The Sharks rounding it out. There's the bottom of the table. The Blues, there they are with their 4 bonus points. They're on 4. They've got serious work to do. The Crusaders, middle of the pack, just timing their run as usual. Let's have a look at the conference table. Hurricanes on top, Chiefs right behind them, and then the Highlanders not far away. The Blues, the gap stretches further and further for them. Josh, the Blues have got to find a way to get a win. They've got to bye this weekend. How would you use the 7 days off after a start like this?
Oh, look, maybe let them go and refresh themselves. A couple of them. You can do something that's team bonding and just get away from whatever's happening. Come back refreshed, excited. Look, I reckon they're playing good footy. They're just not getting across the scoreboard, you know. Like, it reminds me of the Highlanders a couple of years ago, you know. It's just the little things that are letting them down. They're actually playing some good code. Wouldn't you agree?
Agree. Yeah, they are. They'll get there.
They'll get there?
Yeah.
Well, they need to get there, and they need to get there in a hurry. Well, I'll tell you who's playing very, very well at the moment, and it was a great win for them against the Waratahs, and that was the Highlanders. We're going to go down to Dunedin now, and we're going to catch up with Marty Banks. Marty, how are you going, mate? How was the team feeling after such a great win?
Yeah, no, it was pretty emphatic in the Chinese cheers. The boys loved it. It was, you know, we knew what it meant to get the win against the Waratahs, and it's awesome to sort of do it in front of our home crowd.
How do the coaches sort of temper that excitement of the fact they know it's early on in the season, but how did they react to this result?
Yeah, I guess it was you know, a bit of a battle early on, so to come through and play a decent amount of 60 minutes of rugby after that, you know, show what we're capable of, and you know, it gives us a lot of confidence, you know, going into the next couple of weeks.
Hey, Marty, look, you're a Hurricanes man. Well, were. You moved down there. You've been giving any of the boys some sly hints and tips?
Yeah, I've passed on a little bit. I don't, you know, obviously they've changed a little bit this year, but you know, I've given as much as I can. But you know, it'll be awesome to get out there this week and go head to head with them. Obviously, they're playing some good footy, so you know, it'll be a tough challenge. But like I say, we've got the Zoo on our side down here, so no, looking forward to it.
Yeah, Marty, Justin here. I'm sure you're loving the Zoo. Look, I wanted to talk to you about goal kicking, to be honest. Like your pedigree and the things that you have been doing in recent times is outstanding, and compliments about that, and you know, particularly against the Chiefs. But what's it like, obviously, going from the Hurricanes, where you're kicking at Westpac Stadium, down to Forsyth Bar? Because great kickers in the past, like Johnny Wilkinson, Morné Steyn, have struggled kicking there, but you seem to be not having too many problems. Yeah,
well, I guess I went the other way. We trained down here during the week, and then went to Hamilton the other week. We had a shocker out in the wind, so you know, we got used to the nice, easy conditions down here. So you know, it was different. Obviously, not having the outdoor effects on the ball and stuff like that. So, but no, I'm getting used to it now. But you know, it's an awesome stadium to be able to kick in.
Really interesting, Marty, how when the team got 12-0 down, it just seemed to switch. All of a sudden, there seemed to be like the team started to play angry. Do you think there were some messages from the sideline, or do you think just the players themselves, they took responsibility of the fact they knew they needed to pull something out?
Yeah, I guess there would have been a few stern messages coming down from the upstairs, and yeah, like yeah, the boys obviously knew they didn't start that well, but once we sort of got a bit of momentum and a bit of ball, you know, we started tiring the Waratahs out, and away we went. So. Talk
to me about the back three, the excitement machines you have on the outside, and Waisake Nahola and Patrick Osborne. Of course, you've got Ben Smith at the back. I mean, it must be fun to know that you've got those sorts of weapons out there.
Oh, they're unreal, aren't they? They're pretty quick. I won't say that to their face because they'll get big-headed, but you know, to have Patrick and Waisake on the wing, you know, all they need is a little bit of space, and they, you know, run off 50, 60 metres and score a try. And obviously, you got Bender at the back, and you know, you don't need to say too much about him. Everyone's seen what he can do, and you know, it's awesome. We want teams to kick us the ball so they can do their thing.
Can you keep up?
If I get a head start.
Let's talk about the Hurricanes briefly. You would have done some preparation about them, and from your experience, what's different about them now?
Oh, they just look like they've got a fairly you know, sure game plan, and they're playing to a structure that you know, suits them, and obviously they're kicking a lot more this year too. So you know, they've obviously got a real good plan, and some big boys in the back line, obviously with Jules and that, but you know, their full pack's going well as well. So you know, they're looking good, and they deserve probably the 5 wins they've got on the trot. And you know, coming down here, they'll be pretty confident, but we'll do our best to sort of, you know, give them a tough game.
It looks like a real family setup, you know, with the Highlanders. That Jamie really goes for that squad approach. You know, you're guaranteed time off the bench. It's a good quality for you? Yeah,
I think so. It's definitely helped me. You know, we've got Lima, obviously, starting 10, and he's playing some good footy. And, you know, coming off the bench and getting, you know, 20 minutes here and there is probably good for me. You know, I'm learning and you know, picking up cues off. Obviously, we've got Tony Brown down here, and he's an unreal coach and obviously a good player back in his day. So, you know, it's probably benefiting my game, not getting rushed in and thrown in there. So, you know, I'm just taking it as it comes. And obviously, if I get more minutes, I'll try and make the most of them. But at the moment, just learning off Lima.
Quick question before we go. Mate, you've been in Dunedin long enough now. What's your favourite restaurant? I want to know. We're Dunedin people. We know everything down there. Come on, mate. What is it?
I'll say Jizzo.
Jizzo, you can't go wrong. I like the style,
best
mate.
Cafe, best cafe.
Best. Yeah. That's not performance enhancing. Marty, thanks so much. Appreciate you being with us.
No worries.
Mate, I'm going to jump on the back of the kicking question. He's got Tony
What
Brown.
do you know?
Tony...
John Preston.
John Preston. Two of the greatest icemen of rugby.
Yeah.
You know, like finishing kickers.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
That's why.
Okay. It's time we gave the Hurricanes some serious attention, isn't it? The fact we looked at what they're doing and how well they're playing. What is the difference in this version of this Hurricanes team, Josh?
Oh, look, it's pretty simple. They've really just got a little bit of consistency with the way they play and patience with their structure. They've still got that creative flair. They're still throwing that out, but they're waiting for their opportunities to inject that, you know, and that's the key difference, you know. Like before, they were trying to throw that every moment they possibly could. Now, they're scoring tries when they should be scoring tries, and they still got their little loose flair on loose play where they can turn around and put money on you, you know.
And they've done a great job in regards to their defence. Their defence has shown up as well. I'm going to talk about some key positions in the game now across all of the teams, but starting particularly with the spine of the team, I call it, where you look at the guys who have to make key decisions on attack in particular. You're 8, 9, 10 and 15. And if you start with the Hurricanes, Justin, you think about who they've got: Victor Vito, TJ Perenara, Beauden Barrett and Nene Mino-Skudder, who's come to the back but we know the talent. These guys have got between them an average of 44 Super Rugby caps. So you look at that, is that one of the reasons, with that experience, they're making the right options when they're playing? Is that why?
Yeah, absolutely. All of those positions, every player in the rugby team has to make good decisions for the team to function well. But those ones are the vital ones because they're game plan orientated. You know, whether your fullback counter attacks or whether he plays a territory game. First five is exactly the same. Halfback to distribute or run. Perenara's got that mix right, and then you've got Beauden Barrett there. So, you know, the goal kicking tactically, everything that comes into it revolves around the spine, and the Hurricanes are doing that very well. Decision making, that's simple. They're making good decisions rather than rash ones.
With TJ Perenara, has his game, knowing that he's trying to get to that position where he is the second-ranked number 9, is he playing better than he's ever played? Yeah,
to me, though, TJ's always been a brilliant player.
Right.
And I reckon he's been playing inhibited. He's been trying to play like others. You know, a lot of that'll be the All Blacks trying to teach him to be, you know, a bit better and try and make him, but they don't want to make him a clone of Aaron Smith because he's not that.
Yeah.
And he looks to me now like he's enjoying his rugby again. He's got a smile on his face, and because of that, he's playing the way that we know he can play. Yeah. And he's enjoying it, probably.
You talk about those positions then, as we look at the Crusaders. And this is on last weekend's game. Kieran Reid, Andy Ellis, Colin Slade, and given that Dan Carter was playing at second 5'8", and then you've got Israel Dagg, who didn't play on the weekend, Tom Taylor. And last weekend, an average of 87 Super Rugby caps in that group of players. So experience does count for a lot. Is that why, Josh, our expectation is, as this competition gets a little bit longer, the Crusaders are they going to find their feet?
Oh, fully. I'm going to say I think they've always been quite slow starters, and they find the momentum because they've got that experience, and they create connections between the younger players and the older players, and those combinations occur, and they become solid. and then all of a sudden you've got a team that's just at the top end of its game, and that's what the Crusaders managed. They create momentum.
Look, we won't talk too much about the Highlanders, but what they have as well, they've got Nasi Manu, great deal of experience. They've got Aaron Smith, of course. You've got Ben Smith at the back, and Lima Sapawanga. He's played about 45 games now, so he's maturing. So they've got that experience as well. Look at the other side of it, though, the other two teams. The Chiefs, on the weekend they had Leach, Webber, Cruden and Damien McKenzie. So when you're trying to prepare that group, the only experienced guy is that about Aaron Cruden. Does that just confirm their coaching? Is that their ability to prepare? Does that confirm what we already know, or is there something else?
Well, I hope so, because it's a counter kick in the guts, isn't it, for what I've just said?
But
because they've got no caps and inexperience. But what they are getting is absolutely your point, is that they're obviously encouraged to play the game as they see it, play on instinct. And they're good, young, intelligent players, and they're making good decisions. But they've got some great players around them as well. You know, that tight forward pack of the Chiefs is hugely experienced. The spine might be not so much, but yes, I think a lot of it is the encouragement of the coaches, letting them do what they know on the rugby field. Because whether you're 19 or 34, if you know the game, you're playing at that level for a reason.
I'll just point out, the Chiefs have an uncanny ability to work out where the weaknesses are in an opposition team, and once they've discovered that, mate, they really attack it. Like on the weekend, those outside channels, and right on the outside of channels was where they were scoring all their points, and they kept going there. It was a no-brainer for them.
They found ways. And that's why when you talk about the Blues and their inexperience, if you take Jimmy Cowan out of their mix, now these are key positions, decision-making. You take Jimmy Cowan out, he's played about 120, 130 games. They don't have that experience in behind that. When you talk about Ihai West, Lalangi Visania, Stephen Luatua played at number 8 in the weekend. He's hardly played there in Super Rugby. So I think some of their challenges, some of the things that they're doing wrong, that's just time in the saddle. They need to get the opportunity to develop. Fortunately for JK, is he going to get that time? Well, what we did last week was we looked at the evolution of defence and how things had changed through the Super Rugby, well, 20 years of Super Rugby. We tried to illustrate how things are different. Well, what I've decided to do is this week have a look at the scrums, because we all know how frustrating the scrums can actually be. We'll go back to the first game and have a look at how scrums were put down. Penalty, here it was a held up over the line. They're getting, Fitzy's got the ball, here it is, he chucks it to the halfback. Marshy about 5 seconds later, watch this. Look how they're bound together, they bind. Now, I know there's a lot of things to consider, but in these days, you were around this time, it was in and out and gone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was all about on the engage, the ball went in. See, as soon as they engaged, the ball went in and it's straight away to the back and cleared. And all of a sudden, the contest is over, the contest is there.
But that's one of the things they talk about in rugby, is about this contest in the scrums. I don't know if it was as much back here as it was then. This is in 2001, where this is the Sharks and the Brumbies going head to. Remember this Brumbies team? Here it is, the ball. Watch how quickly it gets to the back, Josh. It's gone. The Brumbies have only just started pushing, and it's gone.
And there's no one hanging off. You know, it's the speed of it is pretty amazing, considering when we see the later ones, when it starts to slow up, you just realise how much we're mucking around.
And Marshy, the big thing for me is that you look at, it gets hooked in these games. Look at the loose forwards here. They're already off. They're not still pushing. This ball is out. So if you're a halfback, you're thinking to yourself, aren't you? It's in, it is gone, we are shifting it.
Yes, absolutely. And you're moving away from the congestion.
Yeah.
Like scrums are congestion. That's where the majority of the players are. So restart a play, and if you can move it from there quickly, with the loosies having to stay on, then you can really launch your attack. Look, gone are the days that we now see in the modern game, blockbusting number 8s, getting the ball at the back of the scrum and just running at first fives. Used to love that, mate. First fives having to try and tackle number 8s, but they can't get out there anymore.
And how an 8-9 used to work as well. You used to be able to get outside loose forwards. If we look at the Reds from 2011, when they were the champions, you watch this, look at the amount of time it takes for this to get together, to construct a scrum. And these are the frustrations we're having now as well. This was the time when they were in the, I think, crouch, touch, pause, was it? And then engage?
Yes,
was it the four commands?
Yeah.
I've done well to remember that, Josh.
Good knowledge for a winger.
Yeah, exactly, for a winger. But that's taken, it's not even ready. This is where they've gone through this whole process again. And watch where the loose forwards have the ability here to get off. This is the key for me, was watch Richie McCaw, how quickly he's able to get out. Balls at the back, they're not having to stay on at all. Ben, he is gone. And here, this is from the other game, the other day. And this, if you're a fan, is surely, Josh, not what you're looking for.
Oh, look, Matt, I hate it. You know, like, I've got to be honest. Like, I don't want to watch scrums. You know, like, there's no... I thought the whole idea was to create a contest and maybe we saw pushover scrums and stuff. I haven't seen one pushover scrum. You know, that doesn't even exist in our vocabulary anymore with respect to scrums. And I miss 8-9s. 8-9s are incredible to watch.
You look how long this is. All of that chat you've just done,
yeah,
and that still ain't down. That still ain't down. There wasn't an injury.
I can talk.
There wasn't an injury. There wasn't a case where we're trying to slow it down for any reason. And I'm interested in your thoughts. I believe it's a situation where teams aren't having to hooking. You haven't got the option now. The halfback doesn't have the choice when the ball goes in. He gets the odd nod from the referee.
Yeah.
So it gives the team that's defending the opportunity to do what? To time their hit to go. And you talk to teams and their hooker goes, well, if I put my foot up, they're coming. Yeah. The moment they see my foot go up, they're going, I'm off balance now, I am charging through. And that's got to be incredibly frustrating. If you look at the game and you're going, shouldn't it be advantage to you if you've got the ball putting
Absolutely.
it in?
Absolutely. A scrum is a reset of play because the opposition have made some form of a mistake. Yeah. So defensively, if you've made a positive movement to make them create that mistake, reset and play, why can't your hooker be able to hook the ball?
Yeah.
But now you can't even hook it.
Yeah, you can't even hook it. And that fact, you can't, the locks, the number 8, everyone's on. They're focusing on pushing rather than get it to the back and be gone.
Look at what happened on the weekend. Is it Leach, the number 8, having to reach in and was getting penalised for reaching in? Yeah. It was random.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
It is.
Just real quick, because I know we've got to move on, but they've depowered the responsibility of the players, and I think that's the biggest problem. Back in the day, like the first scrum we saw, Fitzy, the front rowers took control. The locks just got the slap, they got in,
and it would have been.
And the refs didn't interfere. The refs have got too much say now, and the props have got to, touch and do this with Karen
as well. If you let the halfback control when the ball goes in, the defence then can't anticipate it. 100%. They can't anticipate it. We've had our rant. We've had our rant. We've had our scrums. We're gone. We're tired. Your history. You're done.
You fired me up with all the scrum talk.
Let's shift out. Let's get off the 15s game. We're off the 15s game. It's time to go to the Sevens desk, pretty much. He's been around a long time. DJ Forbes is with us from Mount Maunganui. You don't look too tired. Can't have been too hard a day.
Oh, no. Definitely been doing my fair share of work today, so boys definitely have some good rest at the moment.
4 tournaments to go, 5 points behind the South African side. Hong Kong's on the horizon. I mean, how is the preparation going? Is there confidence within the camp? You know exactly where you're going. That goal of qualifying for Rio is well and truly on track?
Yeah, I think in terms of the World Series, we're building nicely. And in terms of the depth of our players, the 3 trials we had today were pretty tough. And so, there's no positions taken for granted. And I think the 12 guys that get nominated or get picked tomorrow definitely going to be capable of doing the job in Hong Kong.
Let's talk about yourself for a minute, DJ. Last year, you had a couple of little injuries, little niggles that hung around. How's your own health? You're feeling good about the body, and for yourself, thinking about pushing on for the next 12, 18 months?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I actually had a pretty good run last year. It was just obviously the last 20 in Wellington when I rolled my ankle and had a little bit of a fracture in that. But I've been doing my work to get back on the field, and Titch has been putting me through our paces. So hopefully, put my hand up for a spot tomorrow.
Yeah, DJ, Justin here, mate. Look, you seem to have been around for forever, but you're a legend of the game. Look, what I wanted to know was you've been around the circuit a lot. What's still your favourite tournament off the field, mate? Like, I know Hong Kong's coming up. I'm out there this week, so look out for me. But Wellington obviously is the obvious choice. But let's say you didn't have to say that because you're not in New Zealand. What's your favourite spot to go?
I think Hong Kong's probably at the top of my list. I mean, we don't get to indulge in probably all the festivities that go on, like you said, off the field. But definitely get to do a fair share of shopping and a little bit of sightseeing in Hong Kong. And then if all goes to plan, we can get out and mix amongst probably all the expats and all the fans that turn up for the Hong Kong tournament.
Hey DJ, it's Josh here, mate. Hey, look, everyone's talking the Olympics. Does that feature in your guys' heads with the build-up? You're going through this tournament, all your tournaments coming up.
I guess it's at the in the back of our head. Obviously, the goal at the moment is tournament by tournament and qualifying for the Olympics. In order to have a chance, we've got to be there. So, like I said, it's at the back of our mind. But first things first, we've got to do a job in order to get that qualification.
Well, DJ, thanks so much for coming on the show. I'm sure you're preparing well, looking forward to the next tournament, of course, Hong Kong. We know that's so important to you guys. Look, we're going to stay with the Sevens crew. We're going to now walk to the couch. We've got Tyler Nathan Wong. We've got Kayla McAllister with us from the victorious New Zealand Women's Sevens side. But first, you voted for it. Here's your try of the weekend.
Woodman on the outside. Here comes try number 1.
New Zealand strike first. Thomas comes out here. Woodman says goodbye. 5 in a final. Are you kidding me? That's 5 for the New Zealand Seven Sisters here in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's been 30 straight games that they've won. 30 straight games. A little bit of pressure on them. That's a little bit easy, isn't it? Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show. A little bit tired though. You only just got back in the country when?
This morning.
This morning?
Yeah. Feeling
not too bad though? You up the front of the plane? Or you in economy? Come on, let's be honest.
No, yeah, we're in economy.
Yeah. So we've got to do something about that. New Zealand Rugby, eh? That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. All right, let's talk about that. Congratulations on the win, Atlanta. The celebrations knowing that you're very close. I'm not sure if you're quite there yet to qualifying for Rio. Has that been something that's always the goal? Has that been there, or you just focus on one tournament at a time?
At this series, it is the goal, but we do take one tournament at a time. But the qualifying is the main goal for the series. And
is it a case, as you're preparing for each tournament, you focus on, well, as long as we take care of business with them, Tyler, we take care of them, it's no problem at all? Or do you fact of the matter, you don't know who you're going to get, you don't know where everyone's coming from?
Yeah, so we get to know the pools before we go into a tournament, and so you obviously do a little bit of analysis on the teams before you go in, but really we take one game at a time. Each game's a final for us.
When you think about where Sevens has got to, because it's fascinating, isn't it, where it's come to. I mean, for you, Kaylee, you played netball, part of the Mystics setup. For you making that decision that, OK, I'm going to be a rugby player now, how hard a decision was that to make?
Yeah, it was pretty hard a couple of years ago, but I think, when one door closes, another one opens, so I grabbed it with 2 hands, and, we are here today, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, off the back of that, Tyler, I wanted to ask you, I've been working very hard on my research today. I've been looking at fabulous pictures of you on Wikipedia and stuff, which has not been too hard on the eye, but anyway. I noticed that you started at touch.
Yes,
and
I did.
You were a 16-year-old, you represented New Zealand. Do you think touch is an untapped channel to find girls or guys for sevens? Because a lot of the game is similar, obviously, apart from the contact, isn't it? Like touch. Do you think that gave you good grounding to get into sevens? And do you think we could find more talent out there in both men and women?
Yeah, definitely. It's given me, catch and pass is definitely transferred from touch and also the vision. There's actually a few of us touch girls that have come into the program. You've got Morgan Morrow, Sheree Tane. Yeah. So, we're all involved with the sevens program. So, I think it's a good base to get some talent from.
Do you still play?
No, I don't. No, just purely focusing on sevens at the moment.
Purely contact now.
Yeah.
Josh. Like smashing people. Are you focused? You're focused when you're talking about being a professional. I mean, how professional are you? I mean, we talk about if we're talking about a professional rugby player. It's all day, every day. But is that the same for you girls?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is.
I'll call ourselves professional.
Yeah. So you're fully contracted by the New Zealand Rugby Union?
Yes, we do have contracts at the moment.
Yeah.
Semi-professional.
Yeah. So when you think about that, I guarantee you, like any other sports, netball is the same. You'll train like professionals because I know, Dean went through that when she was playing netball as well. It's not a full time all year round. What do you do outside of netball outside of rugby if you're not playing?
I'm currently studying early childhood on the side, and we've got a Prime Minister scholarship, which is great. It helps us to do something other than sport or rugby and something for after our sevens career.
Yeah.
So.
I'm also studying too. I'm doing a Bachelor of Sport and Exercise at Massey University. So, something other than rugby to keep our minds off rugby and vice versa.
Kyla, look, I also wanted to know, I don't know if this is going to come out of my, Kayla, sorry, out of my mouth very well, but it's already started being a problem. Yeah, Kyla and Tyler, sorry. On tour. Obviously, they train you a lot at sevens, don't they? It's all running.
That's why we never played.
That's exactly why we never played. You obviously get some time to chill and go do other things. A lot of the rugby guys go play golf and that, or play cards. There's not many a sevens team, so you'd have to get most of them involved. What do you do outside of the training field and the playing field when you're away on trips? Both of you. Come on.
Kayla likes the shop.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. Shopping. Yeah, we go shopping. Got a new social committee kind of organised, so a couple of girls kind of take charge of our social activities outside of the rugby, It's pretty good.
Well, it's going around the world, though, isn't it? You're getting the opportunity to go to places I presume you've never been. Is that a big part of it as well, to make sure you get out of the hotel and you go and have a look around?
Yeah, it's pretty special when we get to travel around the world and see things we've never seen before, places we've never been. So you guys went to Dubai and saw some pretty cool cultural stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
We're ultra competitive. So we find ways to compete, regardless. You know, whether it was playing cards, whether it was playing golf,
cricket in the hallway.
Yep, some very heated exchanges. Is it the same?
Cheaters.
Prolific cheaters. Josh, please, over there. You should never play cricket, Josh.
Someone take his mic off.
Yeah, we can turn him down at some point. Is that the same for you girls? Do you have that competition, or you just save it for inside the white lines?
Well, we're always competitive. We do have competitive nature in us, but on the training field, we're always competitive, trying to get around each other. We're doing the defence and attack drills. Outside of rugby, though, no, we're pretty...
Did a bit of cricket.
Yeah, a bit of cricket, yeah.
Just some little... at our
Who's
training.
the gun? Who's the gun cricketer? Talk yourself up, if it's you.
No way.
No?
Oh, Hazel too big, yeah, she is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this last tournament over in Atlanta, because Canada... in the semi-final, they ran you pretty close. Is it always nice, you know, given the fact you've won 30 in a row, nice to get... Was it a reality check for the team in some way?
I think our reality check was probably Russia as well.
Yeah, game one.
Game one was a pretty tough one up front. They're pretty hard. All our games are, but the semi, when it's day two, it's a completely different story to day one, and we knew Canada were going to come out pretty strong, which they did. But
and then you played the States and you annihilated them. And what's it like when you're playing in a game like that, where everyone virtually was on fire in this game? Did you expect a little bit more competition from the States in this? Are they a nation that you expect to see get better and better?
Yeah, definitely. They've grown a lot in the past couple of years playing. They performed extremely well in this tournament. I think it was because they also were at home as well, which gave them a bit of a boost. And playing in front of the home crowd, you're always going to try and step up that much more. So, yeah, I was pretty impressed with how they went through, especially their quarter-final they played against Australia. That was nail-biting. So we were on the sidelines watching that, and, yeah, it was pretty intense, that game.
Who got MVP of the tournament?
Kayla.
This one right here.
Oh, really? You don't know?
That's my research today.
Oh, is that your research?
Yeah.
You were sitting there, I don't know. You know. But a nice tournament. Let's talk about the competition, though, now, to get into this squad. Because it seems as though over the last 18 months, 2 years, a lot of girls are putting their hand up, aren't they? They see that opportunity to go to the Olympics. So as much as it's competitive, do you know that there are players who are ready to go?
I wouldn't say ready to go. I think each camp's very tough. We have a week in them out before any tournament leading up. And 2 years ago we'd have games and it was quite nice and a bit of scrag, and now it's full-on contact, tackles, and it's everyone trying to make this 12 to go on the plane. So.
Is that the hardest thing to get used to in rugby? Is the fact that the contact? I mean, or is it something that you know you just love? Look, I know Taekwondo.
Yes.
Black belt.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
So don't put the fight. Tougher than me and you on here.
Girls at the hotel, mate. No chance of that.
Is it one of those things that just the contact part of the games? How much do you train that? How important is it? Is it just that's the one thing you know you have to do? It's continually every game.
Yeah, definitely the last couple of camps we've really focused on the contact area, because it's just the game's getting a lot more physical and teams are just really big and strong. So, yeah, we're going to make sure that we're really strong around the contacts and are working on our defence, really, because defence wins games at the end of the day.
Yeah. What about the kicking skills that are involved and how important they are? Because, you know, games can be won and lost by goal kicking and kick-offs, the ability to get the ball back for yourself. How important is it for you that you nail that role, that your role in the team with that?
Yeah, kicking is definitely important. It could come down, end of the day, to one kick that you miss that could, choose between a win or a loss, really. So I definitely focus a lot on practicing my kicking when I'm at home as well as in camp, and, just purely make sure I'm always focusing on my income and don't really worry about too much where it goes. If I've got the income right, should hopefully go over the post. Nice. Well, you're one of the Sky Next athletes as well. I mean, how's Sky? Put a plug in. How's Sky helping you get to where you want to go? Because that's what this program's all about here at Sky. I mean, for you, what are they doing for you? Oh, yeah, I'm definitely honoured to be part of the Sky Next program. What they've done for me is fantastic. It's given me a whole lot of support for rugby, for my rugby, and, really supported me for a whole lot of things as well, just in life in general, different programs that they've been running, and also, again, to get to know the other Sky Next athletes all involved and see what they do. That's different to me because I'm a team sport and a lot of them are individuals. Yep. So it's good to have a chat and yarn to them to see what their sports is like and how they're going. Yeah, cool. Kayla? What are the teams right now that you think to yourself, we have to be wary of, right to the end of the season, going through to Rio? What are the nations that you think are really, really stepping up? Our next door neighbours, Old Australia. They're probably our ones we see quite a lot in the top four, but any teams actually. I mean, tournament just gone has shown that anyone can come through on the tournament, but I'd say the big nations, the Canada, Aussie, the Russia and the USA are ones to look out for as well. Yeah, I don't think we should get carried away with the fact it's not as easy as it looks
Marshy?
Just before you wrap.
Yeah.
Thanks, ladies, for turning up. Honestly, they have been straight off a plane from the States.
Yeah.
Kayla told me in makeup room, but I didn't get makeup, that she'd had 3 naps already today, so what a fantastic event to come, and congratulations.
Yeah.
Great of you to join us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And such great rugby to watch. It's fantastic. Look, well, last week we announced the competition where we're going to pick the best Super Rugby players out of New Zealand by position, and we talked to Kristen Cullen as the fullback. We voted that. What we decided to do was there was 4 guys on the right wing you had to choose from. There might have been 5. I tried to get in here, to be fair. Lalia Masanga, there he is. He was one of them. Doug Howlett was the first option. Tana Rumanga. I don't know who. Joey Vinderi. And somebody else. Somebody else. They cut my vision short.
You did put yourself in.
I beat 2 people. I beat 2 people on that. Oh, we should have gone back. Well, I'll tell you what. You have voted. And to show that we are not biased in this competition, Doug Howlett was the winner. Let's watch some of his great footage. We'll see you after the break. Stop applauding, Marshy.
Crib takes it himself. Frees it up to Howlett. Oh, what a good try.
He's got support there too. Now he offloads, and another try coming up for Doug Howlett. Muliaina, very good on his feet, and Howlett's going to get a hat-trick.
And Spencer goes away with it. He's got Howlett. Bye-bye. See you later. Howlett. Oh, beautiful stuff. They're really turning on the magic now, the Blues.
Here's an opportunity. Muliaina off to Howlett, and Howlett's in.
Picked up by Howlett. Scooting across to link up on the far side. Good pass from Muliaina to Spencer. Spencer. Howlett. Bonus point try for the Blues.
Here goes the little guy. Now the race is on. Sawala. What a try. Unbelievable. Rod Pritt, kick and chase, brilliant, absolutely outstanding. Rod Pritt, there's the Super 12 for 2002.
Yeah, we know they've won a lot of titles. Let's look at the weekend coming up. The Crusaders, they host the Cheetahs in Christchurch. We got Scotty Stevenson to go down to Christchurch and find a little bit more about this Crusaders legacy.
It's cultural, it's about good people, it's about good coaching, it's good environment, great players, and, you know, 1 in every 3 Crusaders is an All Black.
There's the Super 12 for 2002.
Super 12 title beckons for the Crusaders.
Crusaders have come away with the spoils.
The question is why? Why are the Crusaders so consistent? What alchemy simmers here, away from the public eye? What does it mean to play for this team?
Having the chance to play in the red and black colours for Canterbury and, of course, the Crusaders was just a magical experience. And, you know, I was fortunate with the timing that I had great players around me and we had a very successful era. And, you know, those memories are things that will live with me forever.
All I ever wanted to do was play for the Crusaders, and I guess the types of players that they had in the team when I was a young fella were pretty inspiring, and I guess to finally get the chance to pull on the jersey a few years back was a dream come true for me.
I just think we select their guys really well, and the people that do come through, the ones that do excel, know what it means to be a Crusader, and I think that's important. They say it's all in-house and it's job for the boys and all that, but then again, if it was job for the boys, how can it be how can the performances be so consistent?
I think once you get it right the first time, it becomes easier to replicate that feeling. You know, it almost became ingrained in the fabric of the team and the organisation, so we were able to keep that going and try and do it again and again.
And now when you come in as a young guy, you know, it's spelled out to you in black and white how you do things here, and you just buy in, because if you don't, then you just don't last long. And I guess, you know, there's just no dickheads here, and everyone gets on with the job.
The coach demands it, and this team this year has made their title quest personal.
They know that Toddy's giving everything he can as a coach to provide the best opportunity for them to be successful, and so they're trying to reciprocate that through their effort, by winning a title, and that's the best way to repay him, really.
He was one of those guys that did lay those foundations early on and said, this is how we want to be remembered when we go out on the field. And I know that the squad would want nothing more than to get a title for him for all the hard work he's done over the years.
My motivations as a player were always, was always about putting the team first. And just ironically, when you're a coach, that's all you do. You've got to best prepare your team to go out there and perform. Everything that we do is to help prepare this team to go out there and win championships. That's what we do.
Yep, there's the game. That's going to be on Saturday night. That's the Crusaders versus the Cheetahs. We've got Scott Robinson joining Marshy and myself in the build-up to that show. That'll start at about 7 o'clock. Let's talk about Dan Carter, Josh. Dan Carter got through a game of footy, which is outstanding. It was great, but he played at 12. Should he stay there? Is that where he should stay for the time being, given what they've got there?
Look, personally, I'm not a great fan of it. I reckon you've got to play in your position that your chosen position, because that's where they want him. They don't want him at second five. They're sure they want him to cover that position, but there's a lot of good second fives. He needs to be playing first five because that's where he needs to be. Simple as that.
It's a scary one, isn't it? Because there was a time that Dan Carter commanded the 10 jersey regardless, and there was no reshuffle in the back line. Yep. So, at the age of 33 now, 129 games. So he's got
1,600 points.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. So he's got the pedigree, hasn't he? Yep. But at the moment, the Crusaders looking for their mojo, trying to find that balance in the back line.
Yep.
They've obviously thought down there, the Brains Trust and Major and Blackadder and co, that balance, and Tabai Matson, let's not forget him, that balance is with Carter at 12. It's where it's best, and let's face it, Colin Slade, one of the best teams last year and has carried on that form this year, so they're not missing out in the 10 jersey.
What it does allow them to do as well, it allows them that second pivot, another player who can catch and pass. The big thing I like about it is defence. I mean, we've got to remember, he started off as a 12, didn't he? Isn't that right?
Did. Yeah, he started off as a 12 for the Crusaders outside Mertz, so he's very accustomed to position. He's a good 12, make no bones about it, and he'll make good decisions there, which is what they need to free the space for the likes of Ndolo, McNichol. Dag is back out the back.
What about the kicking issue, though? Slade's a good kicker. Wouldn't you have him kicking? Take the pressure off. Take the pressure off, let him find his game.
Yeah, well, I think, when you've had some injuries like DC's had, and obviously, that you're out of position and a few other things, you just want to get out there and have no pressure. Yeah. And the goal kicking has added pressure, the responsibilities are all there. Maybe just take that away from him. Let him play, let him enjoy himself. It's his last year of Super Rugby.
And that's what they're saying about him. They're saying, we want you to keep playing. We want him to keep playing. We want him to get out there and enjoy himself. That's the word you're getting from him. And I think at 12, it's actually a nice option for them to have. Yeah. But once again, we're talking Crusaders. Israel Dak comes back this weekend, so Tom Taylor, he probably drops back into the bench. The Chiefs, they've travelled to Durban to take on the Sharks. What's that, 6:05 a.m? I think it's a really interesting matchup because the Chiefs and the Sharks need a win. The Chiefs feeling really confident. This matchup, Josh, we know what the Sharks are going to do.
Oh, it'll be set piece. They'll attack it all around that. They'll be seeing what the Stormers were able to do, and they'll think we can have a go at this Chiefs pack. Whether they can actually do it, that's another question. The Chiefs are going to have to regroup, and they'll come in strong, and they'll know that's where they've got to attack as well. So it'll be a good old Barney. There'll be lots of that.
The Chiefs got pumped at scrum time. Yeah, it didn't seem to matter. They dominated the Highlanders and they lost that game, so it makes no difference what's fair. I'm going to talk about a young man, though, who's made an impact coming into this Chiefs setup, and he's played at first five, he's played at fullback last weekend, Damien McKenzie. Young man who, if you look at him, is he now their first choice fullback? They've got Marshall there, Tom Marshall, he's obviously an option, Charlie Ngatai, but is Damien McKenzie, is he their man?
Oh, well, it's frightening, isn't it, looking at that very top stat. He's 19 years old, and it's been a very long time. I remember Jonah coming in, 17, 18, that we've seen somebody that young come in and perform so well. And as you rightly mentioned, at first five, he did incredibly well when Cruden was out, and at fullback, he's mature as a player. Yep. It's not imperative that he tries to find a position yet, I guess. He'll just be happy with game time, but he looks like a 10. It'll be interesting to get his viewpoint on, he's a young player, he'll just say, I'll play anywhere, but what he prefers to play. Because he might have to shift. Yep. Now, I wonder if there's a Blues are an option for him, We've got too many first fives. You've got Carter and Slade and the Crusaders.
You've jumped in there already with the Blues option.
You've got McKenzie and Cruden, We've got to spread these guys out.
Get them playing every week. Get them playing. Well, Sonny Bill Williams has been ruled out for this game, so they'll have a new combination in the midfield. Is that Seta Tamanavalu? Does that give them an option? If you think about Cruden, though, and you think about and McKenzie at the back and Nana Williams, it's not the biggest back line I've ever seen, but they seem to manage to get the job done on defence, Josh.
Yeah, no, they're very positive in the way that they apply themselves. It's their line speed. They come up quick in that line and cut down options. And as soon as you cut down options, the pressure's on, the balls get dropped. And that's the key to defence, really, isn't it? That's the starting platform.
Friday night football. It is Friday night football. That's going on in Dunedin. That's between the Highlanders and Hurricanes. We know this is the big matchup because these are the two formed teams happening down in Dunedin. The Highlanders accepted they had to get off to a fast start, didn't they? They knew that they had to go out of the gate because they got so many home games. I love this. This is great. This is the perfect time of the year to go in there. Some real big matchups in this one. And I want you to run through the halfback one. TJ Perenara versus Darren Smith.
Yeah, this is a quality, opportunity for TJ Perenara, isn't it? Who's found his mojo. He's in good form, up against the incumbent All Black, who's at the moment, you'd have to say, and no disrespect to the other halfbacks in the country, he's streaks ahead of them. Yeah, it's imperative he plays for the All Blacks this year. So, long he stay injury-free down there, Nugget. But, this is a chance for TJ Perenara, who probably fell away a little bit. To really test himself against the best, and it's a team game. He'll be more focused, won't he, on the outcome, but he'll be keen to go out there and show his running game, which has come to fruition. And obviously, he's playing without any any responsibility, I think, anymore. He's trying to play like himself, not like somebody else. You can see that in his body language and the way he's playing.
Hopefully, he doesn't get caught up on it the weekend.
Yeah,
hopefully, he continues to do what he's doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, stay in the contest. Stay in the moment of the fact that as a 15, we're proving ourselves. The Hurricanes are proving themselves. The other matchup, Malachi Fekitoa up against Conrad Smith, 33-year-old Conrad Smith, who doesn't seem to show his age in any way, shape or form. Then Malachi Fekitoa, who's backed up, I think, his season, Josh, from last year. He's actually started to show signs.
Yeah, look, I still don't think we know what position, whether he's a centre or a second five, just with the way he applies himself. The one thing I will say is, Conrad is Mr. Solid, he's Mr. Consistent.
And look at that tackle success rate.
Exactly.
90%.
Exactly. But the one thing that Malachi does bring is that loose forward aspect. He's turning over ball at the point of confrontation. And, mate, that's causing opportunities for tries, turnarounds. It's pretty nice to watch.
Yeah. And when you're talking about the confrontation, I don't know, do you remember this from last year? This was fantastic. This shot that Malachi put on Conrad in this fixture down south. It got replayed I don't know how many times. He might have got binned for that this year, to be fair. But the young man is not afraid. He'll love this challenge, won't he, Justin? He'll love this opportunity.
Yeah, he will. And again, though, isn't it? It's that same sort of analogy that we made for Smith versus Perenara. He's got to relish it. He's got to test himself. That's what rugby's about, testing yourself against All Blacks, like we used to do when we were youngsters. You want to test yourself against Michael Jones. You want to test yourself against John Kirwan. I can't even remember who I played against, but you've also got the team responsibility, and that's what he's got to have at the forefront of his mind, getting the win and playing well in the team.
It's very easy to do the headless chicken thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Just run around there and try and...
Well, I think he'll look forward to this opportunity. I really do. Excited about the matchup. Look, other matchups we've got here. We've got the Rebels versus the Lions. The Bulls, they take on the Force. And probably the most interesting one is the Waratahs. They take on the Brumbies. Well, I'll tell you what, the Six Nations comes to an end. It's the last round of the Six Nations. And we really have tried to make sense of what's happened to date and what this weekend.
Yep, it's one up in the air, up for grabs, last round deciders, and it's likely to all come down to points differential. Now, Wales are third on the table with a 12-point differential. But if they hammer Italy this weekend, they have a chance, and maybe to pip Ireland, who will certainly beat Scotland. But Ireland will want to improve their 33-point differential before watching the England-France match. If England win and improve on their 37-point differential, the Six Nations trophy is theirs. If the differential is tied between England and Ireland, it still goes to England, as they've scored 11 tries to Ireland's 4 so far. So if Ireland then score 6 tries and England win scoring none, then you know what? It's getting a little confusing. So here's the table, and let's see if Jeff Wilson can sort it out.
Can I sort it out?
Good luck.
Can I sort it out? Well, England, Ireland or Wales, they've all got an opportunity to win it. You have to say at the moment, England are favourites. They're at home against France. Who would know in this competition? It's interesting. France have actually got an outside chance if they were managed to thump England, and then Ireland and Wales both lost to Italy or Scotland. That would be a surprise. That would be a shock. But who knows in this competition? Really interesting one. Let's think about who would benefit most, Justin, of winning this competition at this stage of the year, given the World Cup is up in the Northern Hemisphere.
Well, they'd all benefit from it. They'd all get confidence. But I think the team that would most benefit from it would be England. I think the World Cup final in October, on their home patch, if they can win a big game this weekend and win the title, their confidence will soar. They've got injuries, I know now, but players to come back, and I think the whole camp and the whole nation will be buoyed by it if they can win the Six Nations.
This sort of game, though, that France could go on.
Oh, don't talk to us about France, mate. No one's allowed to talk about France.
I'm predicting that's going to happen.
You think it?
Well, I mean, both the home teams, they're all playing, all the teams that are in contention are all playing away. So there's a real opportunity, and you know the French, they love to turn it on when they shouldn't.
All right. OK. It's time now to go to the back three. Right, this is where we get the big questions for us coming up this weekend. The answers we want. What do we want to know answered when we come back here next week, next Wednesday? Josh, for you.
Oh, if the referees can sort out their scrummaging calls, because I'm bloody confused. There you go.
I've got more of a statement than a question.
Oh, have you?
And that is, if you're a die-hard Blues fan, why don't you get 4 points for a bye anymore? Because you could do with them.
OK, sure. I'll tell you what I'm going with is how much are the Black Caps going to win by?
Yes, boy.
That is what's most important. That's what's most important. I think when I watch this cricket, I know it's a tough one because I'm going to be working at the same time.
Yes,
we're thinking the cricketers are going to win, surely.
Yeah, come on, the Kiwis.
All right, that's
Black
us.
Caps.
We are done. OK, make sure you join us on Twitter for a Q&A next half an hour at The Breakdown NZ. Thank you so much, Kayla McAllister, Tyler Nathan Wong, Justin Marshall, Josh Kronfeld. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your rugby week.
See you, mate.
Yeah, mate. Good to see you, buddy.